2.
Hi, I'm Dan from Diamondback Protective Services. About a year ago we put out a video on an upgraded reload, and I just wanted to add a couple of things to it and sort of clarify a few points. So what I'll do first is I'll go over the reload and then I'll talk about some of the reasons behind it. What I'll be using for this is a Glock 17 with an empty mag, so I can demonstrate the proper reload, and snap caps. So there's no live ammunition here. So first I'll demonstrate it essentially in real time, and then I'll break it down and talk about it. Alright, so as you probably saw from the video, what happened there was I was simulating running from slide lock, ejecting the magazine, grabbing my fresh source of ammunition, inserting it, and then what I did was I grabbed the front portion of the slide with my support hand and pulled it back just enough to activate the slide release, and then I was able to slide right back into my grip, which to me saves a lot of motion from the traditional power stroking method. As a left-hander, it's a lot harder for me to hit the mag release with my index finger. Obviously my thumb coming over top would be really awkward and kind of an excessive waist movement. So again, what we came up with was to, as we break it down and insert our fresh magazine, grip the front portion of the slide. As you can see here on this particular weapon, I have some skateboard grip tape here, but what I've actually taken to using even more so is the front two corners of this slide on this nice square Glock slide. Nice being a relative term in this case. Okay, so that's basically the breakdown on it. Now, a couple of people raised some concerns. The first one was, people say, well, the power stroke method is much more of a gross motor skill. And I would agree with that, but the reason that I would disagree with that is this a gross motor skill? It's not. Okay? Is this a gross motor skill? It's not. So to me, what's the issue? If we're doing fine motor skills with our trigger control hand, we could probably do some fine motor skills with our support hand. To me, this increases the speed, so I'm not wasting movement by moving my hand all the way back here on a power stroke. Instead, I'm sliding right back into my grip. So to me, it's more efficient. Feel free to take it and try it. Now, one of the concerns that people had was, well, what if you're running a light? Obviously, this is a Gen 2 Glock. There are no accessory rails, so a light's not an option for this particular weapon. But if I decide that I do want to run a light, like this Streamlight TLR, that tends to complicate things a little bit. And a few people have said things like, well, you have to have really big hands to reach it, or something like that. So I'm going to demonstrate it quickly, and then I'll just have the camera come in a little bit and just show what it looks like. And I really don't have gigantic Shaquille O'Neal hands, so I think you'll see that it's doable for the average human. Let me just show it in real time. Okay, so again, that operates exactly the same, and as you can see, it's no problem for my average size hands to come over and release that slide. Now, if you had smaller hands and shorter fingers, another option that you could do is even come more to one side than the other to release that. You could use the thumb like I did there, or you could come up on this side and use the index finger. And I've got plenty of room to spare there, and there's no stretching, there's no really uncomfortable, unnatural movements. It's just a pinch and a pull. So, hope that makes sense to everybody. Generally what I tell people is, if you're already set in one training method, now's probably not the time to switch. But if you're newer to shooting and you're trying to get more efficient, particularly if you carry concealed in a place where it's legal to do so, you want to be as efficient as possible. And that's what I feel like this method does, is increases your efficiency and speed in certain instances. So give it a try. Don't knock it till you've tried it. If you like it, let me know. If you see a problem with it or something like that, let me know as well. Maybe we can work through some things. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm Dan from Diamondback Protective Services.
Demonstrate quickly.